Jolly Cemetery. And from what I understand, this is a pretty neat little story. High Jolly. Alright, we're at the High Jolly Monument, and this is a cemetery, so this would be for Nana and Judy, I guess, and everybody else. But this is the way they do graves out here in Quartzsite. High Jolly, like in Greensburg, Winding and Starry Hill eventually became Winding and Star Hill because it's easier to say when you speak in the vernacular, I guess. But this fellow Philip Tedrow came here as a camel herder with the army, and his Arab name was Haji Ali. So when he got here, of course, the lazy Americans turned that into High Jolly. And here's a little pyramid telling all about him. It's on the National Register of Historic Places, and and of course in the distance, well, there's a church over there, but are the ever-present RVs. That poor grave's falling in. Doing a little survey work for make sure they're buried them in the right place, I guess. And of course it's right next to a trailer park or RV park.
West. President standing next to her on the stage. First Lady opened the rally. She was on fire as well. Then President Trump took over. Has been going on.
All right, we're heading out Dome Rock Road. And as you can see, we're already closer to the mountains. This is another one of those.
In 3.9 miles, turn left.
14-day free camping sites areas. I don't know how much they enforce that until January, when hundreds of thousands of people show up. As you can see, off to the right, the Interstate 1 East is still backed up because of that tractor-trailer fire. All the time. And you get to end of state maintenance, and then this road is a lot better than what the state takes care of. That's funny. This is obviously a through road because
Turn left.
those semis and that ambulance. Here, we'll turn left here. So we may go that way as we go west and not go back and get on the interstate. We'll check it out. But this is Dome Rock Road, and I think that's Dome Rock over on the left. And there's one lone saguaro way up near the top, and then one on the side. But anyway, we'll drive here. You can see.
In 900 feet, turn left.
You can see that there are already several campers out here, and it is very similar to where we were last night, except this is not quite as flat. It has more roll to the terrain. Some of the rocks are much bigger than they were back at the Palamosa Road area. I'm gonna drive for a moment. it all looks like. Let's drive up over this little rise. And we're into the sun now, but pretty sure that's, well, I'm guessing that's Dome Rock on the right. Even though the one on the left could be a dome too. There are all kinds of little roads, gravel paths and roads going off each side out here. So, and as you see, there are off to the right, there are lots of those fire rings close to.
In 700 feet, you'll arrive at Dome Rock BLM Upper Campsite.
All right. This one looks like a monument or a grave or something. There's a cross. And a little creche or something, but it doesn't say what. Anyway, here we are we're in the desert with a little character to the land now. There's a road going up, well, both those mountains. I don't know if the van needs to try that because it looks steep. Back to the left, you can see quartzite. Let's see. That road looks more traveled than this one, but let's go this way. I guess there are actually more people. Maybe the area is more concentrated, but there are more people here than there are at Lamosa Road, even though Lamosa Road is flatter and has more shade trees. Here we go. We'll get a view of quartzite in the distance here. We're parked here in Dome Rock Road, and I've turned the vans back to the sun so that, and it makes it a little dark in here, but I suspected this was the case about how quartzite got its name, but as soon as I stepped out of the van here, these quartzite pebbles are everywhere. This one is actually maybe hard to tell on the camera, but it's got quartzite when it has impurities in it. Can be quartz when it has its impurities in it can be actually gemstones. And this one, to the naked eye, has a little bit of a dark color to it, and its name is smoky quartz. And there's one that's red. Called rose quartz, and then there is one that is purple, has a purple cast to it, called amethyst. So I'll get out and take a walk around after a while and see if I can find any of those kind, because all of these are mostly white except for the one that may have a little tinge of black in it. But as I'm sitting here, I'm getting ready to eat lunch, and let's see how many of the food groups I've got going on. I got pinto bean dip, so there's vegetables, and I've got some salsa, so that is fruit, and I got some blue corn chips somewhere. I'll be back. I had to go get the blue corn chips in the back of the van, and I've had the bean dip and the salsa in the refrigerator, which I have determined I still adjusting, trying to find a balance where the bottom of the freezer freezes, so my bottles of water become ice, because I like my ice, and then the things on top of it do not freeze. And the bean dip is fine, ice and cold. But the salsa is completely frozen. Matter of fact, so we'll let that thaw out a little bit while we work on the beans. The beans for protein, and corn chips, corn, beans and corn. If I just had some squash, I would have it, the three sisters of the Southwest. I'd have all the nutrition I need. I'm actually not writing anything. I'm too interested in traveling to see what's going on. And the closer I'm getting to Slab City, I think I'm more anxious to actually get over there and see where the end of the novel is going to be, so I can tie everything I've learned in the past few months together, and hopefully when I get that, when I know the ending and what it's going to be and where it's going to be, then hopefully I can fill in. I will get ready to fill in the blanks, because I already have the opening written, and I've gotten the characters to Palestine Gardens, where it starts, and then I need to go and see where it ends. There's what I'm looking at as I eat lunch, and that's not that's Quartzsite at the far right, and you can see all the traffic on the interstate. It's in the traffic jam, but that's not even really the most spectacular, because over this way there are mountains galore. So all in all, it's a pretty nice place. I'm out here. There's a fifth wheel camped over to the right, and I think you can see down in front of us before we get to Quartzsite, there's a school bus, and another school bus has been painted green, and a truck with a camp topper on it, and a couple of, I think those are Class C's way in the distance. And off to my left, I see 1, 2, 3 more. I'm not sure that I'm done with my sleeping to catch up. That's why I'm thinking about leaving here, because this is nice. But if I were going to stay, I think I'd go back to Formosa Road, where I'd basically be alone, except for people a quarter mile away, no closer than a quarter mile away. Well, more like a half a mile, I guess. But anyway, I'm thinking about running over to the Colorado River tonight, and then I will be closer to Slab City. Hey Siri, how far is it to Nyland, California?
It looks like Nyland is about 127 miles away by car.
Oh my goodness, I thought it was closer than that. A couple hours from here to Nyland, so. And then Slab City is outside of Nyland. Those mountains you see in the distance are in California. And we're not going near there. We're going to get off at exit 1 at Ehrenberg. And it looks like the truckers are going to use it extensively too. Actually, maybe there's a traffic jam getting into California. You go, boys. Stand and girls.
Take the exit, then turn right onto Juneau Avenue toward Poston Road.
We'll stand in line to get to California. Maybe California's closed and they're turning around down there at the other exit. Frontage Road East is where we're going, the second exit off the roundabout. And as you can see in front of us is desert. And mountains way back. The other side of those mountains is quartzite now. Apparently it's 17 miles to quartzite, and quartzite's about 4 or 5 miles the other side of those mountains, so you can see a long way out here. I see signs up here on the gravel roads. The Arizona Department of Transportation says they take no responsibility from here. Go high pressure gas lines buried in the road here, so don't dig. For further reading about the Colorado River BLM land, it's quite a bit of ways out of town, and some of the last people that stayed there said it's been trashed. All the new people coming out who don't have respect for others or for the land. So I'm gonna come on out this way, out to the desert, because there are dozens of vehicles already back here. But this is where we are. Turn off there. Lots of people out there.
If you look at my map, I'm going to put up a link, not a link, but a URL to a page on my website, and that will give you a map. Now we're up on the plateau. It's basically flat and level up here. As I look around, there are rigs just about everywhere. So we've come to one of the main turns, and we're at mile 2.7. Mile 2.7. That's where our camp is, back over there. This is actually a T, and camp is back there. And you'll see over here, this sign. This is the standard BLM marker sign. I'm going to get out and get a close-up of that and explain who owns this land. And I'll do that right now. So straight ahead is the road. To the left is the road to camp. And over here is another road that goes off. If you know anything about the BLM, this is the BLM example. So it's standard. Just Department of the Interior, BLM. Below it is another emblem that says Arizona State Parks Off-Highway Vehicle Recreation. So the first road where I am camped is at 2.7 miles. This is the second road where a lot of people are camped. And I'll give the mileage when we get there. Here's one that you don't go down. This road is us. We have a bunch of people. Straight ahead is this sign.
McSally's attacks on Navy combat veteran Mark Kelly just aren't true. They've been called ridiculous and shameful.
This is what it's like wearing regular shoes. No all-around support. And this is what it's like in Skechers too. This is road narrow. So just before the road narrow signs. When it says road narrow, that's where you turn. Okay? And we go that way. And I'll go that way. And my odometer says 3.2. So 2.7 and 3.2. And this is one of us. Here. Let's see. for the races week.
Here outside of Ehrenberg, Arizona, just west of the Colorado River and the California state line. And I'm on BLM land, and I'm actually surrounded. Well, not surrounded, but there are lots of campers. I'll show you some of them in a little bit that are fairly close here. But I have parked in one of the scrubby trees, so I got just a little bit of shade as the sun goes down. But the temperature's in the 70s right now, and it's very nice. Tammy White said on one of my videos the other day that I should do some cooking videos. Well, I was ready to do one tonight. See, I have this induction cooktop, and I had my cast iron skillets ready to go with my steel spatula. And those of you who know about cast iron, you know what that is, don't you? That's an old skillet. Back when that's a number 7, made back when they actually made them by hand and using sand molds. I bought this induction heat cooker because it's low temperature. It goes from 200 watts up to like 1500. And I tested it out, of course, back home, but I never tested it on the inverter I have. The inverter I use is only 300 watts, and that's all I need. But this one apparently it needs 1200 watts to start, and I can't do that. I could get my generator out, but I'm too close to people, so I'm not going to do that today. We'll try that later on. And there's a group camping, and there are campers everywhere back in this area. And somebody's even built a monument out there, I guess to mark the spot for somebody coming in at one time looking. But there's a fellow who's converted a school bus and all kinds of fifth wheels and trailers.